वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. But don't underestimate नारायण प्रसाद लिखा हुआ वाइस एडमिरल के नेवी में, और उसके बाद MDL मझगांव डॉक लिमिटेड के CMD थे, और इनके टाइम में मझगांव डॉक लिमिटेड बहुत ज़्यादा प्रगति किया और बहुत सारे नेवी के फ्रिगेट और बहुत कुछ ये बनाए. उसके बारे में आज बात हम नहीं करेंगे. नारायण प्रसाद को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि थोड़ा बता दे ब्रीफ में. लेकिन मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट फोकस जो आज है वो है कि मेक इन इंडिया जो प्रोजेक्ट है गवर्नमेंट का, उसके बारे में नारायण प्रसाद जी बात करेंगे. और अंत में एक शायद मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ आएंगे, हमारे ही क्लास के एक है जायसवाल, नाम है बैजनाथ प्रसाद जायसवाल, वो HPCL के बारे में अगर किसी को कोई प्रश्न है तो वो बात करेंगे. तो नारायण, ओवर टू यू. आपकी इच्छा, आप अपना वीडियो भी ऑन कर सकते हो और आप यू टेक ओवर नाउ. आई एम म्यूटिंग माई सेल्फ.
Okay, can we hear each other?
Yeah, हम लोग सुन रहे हैं. और if you want to know the audience, I can introduce you, otherwise you can start.
Okay. Can I have the proud privilege of talking in English?
No, Hindi, English is okay.
Okay, I'll try my level best because I try to restructure my talk in a manner which is more productive, substance oriented, and we don't go haywire while talking.
खिचड़ी बना दो.
ठीक है. So आत्मनिर्भर भारत or Make in India initiative and vocal for local are some of the key echoing words which pervades through all the departments of the government currently and covers all aspects of productivity and entrepreneurship. In a move towards bolstering local economies and fostering grassroots level entrepreneurship, Niti Aayog has launched the local Vocal for Local initiative under its aspirational program on 13 March 24. The initiative aims to encourage spirit of self-reliance amongst the populace of aspirational blocks, propelling them towards sustainable growth and prospering and prosperity that also engages district and block level officials and collaborates with GEM portal, which is the government e-marketplace, and open network for digital commerce, which is called ONDC, for growth of micro enterprises. The Make in India program has nowhere reflected so successfully as in defense production. Now, hailing from defense and defense production background, I will cover some broad aspects of interest to all of us this evening. As we all are aware, India has one of the world's largest armed forces with a strength of over 14.4 lakhs active personnel, since it has the largest unsettled borders with two nuclear-powered neighbors, which translates into very high defense spending. Indian defense budget ranks fourth globally at $83.6 billion, though US, China, and Russia spend far ahead. While defense and aerospace industry is strategically important sector in India, we import 8 to 9% of global arms import, and we are pegged as largest importer of military hardware. Now, with the current impetus, with concurrent policies of the government in India, in less than a decade only, indigenize the manufacturing of a very large number of defense items such as aircraft carrier, destroyers, frigates, corvettes, strategic submarine. I'm talking about nuclear submarines, BrahMos supersonic missiles, Tejas multi-role fighter aircraft, attack and utility combat helicopters, and a wide array of radars, missiles, drones, unarmed combat vehicles, armaments, and also turn into an arms exporter. A striking feature of this success story is the public sector undertakings, which were erstwhile known for inefficiency and tardiness, have played a greater role in this success story. The vision of the government is to achieve a turnover of Indian rupees 1.7 lakh crores in aerospace and defense manufacturing by the year 2025, which includes exports of Indian rupees 35,000 crores. Indian defense exports have touched a record of rupees 21,083 crores in the current fiscal of 23-24, which is a growth of 32.5% over the last fiscal, when the figure was just meager 15,920 crores. Now, in line with Self-Reliant India initiative, the share of domestic capital procurement, which was marked at 68% of the capital acquisition, the budget of defense services for the financial year 22-23 has been enhanced to record 75%, which is approximately lagbhag 1 lakh crore for the financial year 2023-24. So this means कि हमने जितने भी orders place करने हैं of the total value, at least 1 lakh crore हमने domestic market segment में invest करना है. Now, to support the domestic defense industry, the government has aimed to ensure transparency, predictability, and ease of doing business by creating a robust ecosystem and supportive government policies. Towards this end, the government has taken steps to bring about delicensing, deregulation, export promotion, and foreign investment liberalization. The Department of Military Affairs has promulgated 5 positive indigenization lists comprising of about 4,764 items, including line replacement units, which they call LRUs, subsystems, and components for DPSUs. Now, these are the items which will be barred for import against given deadlines and which are critically required in defense manufacturing. तो ये जानकर बहुत ही खुशी होती है कि मेक इन इंडिया इनिशिएटिव एंड इंडिजिनस प्रोडक्शन को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत ही मजबूत कदम उठाए, वो तारीफ काबिल है. Additionally, to promote export and liberalize foreign investment, FDIs in defense sector have been enhanced up to 74% through the automatic route and almost 100% by government route, which the government has made certain policies. Now, the government has also announced 2 dedicated defense industrial corridors in the state of Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh to act as cluster of defense manufacturing that leverage existing infrastructure and human capital. Further, to enable innovation with defense and aerospace ecosystem, there are supportive government schemes such as IDEX, Innovations for Defense Excellence, and DTIS, Defense Testing Infrastructure Scheme. Now, aimed at providing impetus to self-reliance in defense manufacturing, following policy changes of the government are noteworthy. One is a defense acquisition procedure, which is called DAP 2020, which aims to empower Indian domestic industry through Make in India initiative and has laid down a strict order for performance of procurements and includes provisions to encourage FDI to establish manufacturing hubs, both for import substitution and exports, while protecting interests of the Indian domestic industry. Now, I was personally involved in drafting one chapter, which is called shipbuilding, as a part of DFP 2020. Now, defense product and export promotion policy is another very important policy which has been promulgated. This is called DEPE PP 2022, which acts as guidance document to provide a focused, structured thrust to defense production capabilities for self-reliance and exports. The other one is a strategic partnership model. This policy is intended to engage the Indian private sector in the manufacture of long-term strategic partnership with qualified Indian industry icons through a transparent and competitive process. तो मैं आपके साथ ये चीज साझा करना चाहूंगा कि इस पॉलिसी के तहत in my previous assignment we were also working to bid for construction of 6 in number conventional submarines which are powered by air independent propulsion system, and the whole value of the program is roughly about 45,000 crores. The next is a reorganization of ordnance factory. हमारे देश में ये ordnance factory board was supposed to be an organization that makes all the ammunitions and other arms and missiles. Now, aimed at enhancing the functional autonomy and efficiency, the government recently converted OFB, which is called Ordnance Factory Board, from a government-dependent entity into a 7 government-owned corporate entities. Now, the role of public sector DPSUs, they have historically dominated the Indian military-industrial complex. Though emerging private players are slowly gaining ground, the public sector has dominated production and research and development. The major entities of the 16 DPSUs, 7 which have been carved out of the erstwhile ordnance factory boards, so they are 7 in number. Besides, you have 4 shipyards. Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, Mumbai. Now, this is the senior most and the oldest shipyard of vintage 1774. So, inception in 1774, incorporated in 1930 and taken over by the government of India in 1960. And this shipyard alone has so far produced about 810 vessels, which includes the destroyers, the stealth frigates, and all the submarines for the Indian Navy. Besides that, you have a GRSC, which is called Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, Calcutta, GSL Goa, which is Goa Shipyard Limited, Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Vizag. You have Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Bangalore. These are for aircraft. Bharat Electronics Limited for electronics. Bharat Dynamics Limited, Hyderabad for missiles. Mr. Dhatu Nigam Limited, Hyderabad for special alloys. And BEML, Bangalore for vehicles and earth-moving equipments. Now, these are all DPSUs, and they all report to the Defense Minister. Now, besides, we also have another shipyard which enjoys an enviable position of having built the first aircraft carrier, which is called Cochin Shipyard Limited at Kochi, which is placed under the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways. Now, apart from DPSUs and the PSUs, there are several defense-specific joint ventures between the Ministry of Defense controlled entities, which is, I would say, DPSUs or DRDO, and foreign partners. One strategically very important JV in the defense domain is BrahMos Aerospace, which was established in 1998 between DRDO and a Russian collaborator to produce supersonic cruise missile that can be launched from submarines, ships, fighter aircrafts, or TL. Now, private companies are relatively new entrants in the defense production space. However, as of 22-23 fiscal, they have contributed almost 20% of India's total domestic production. Now, most big industrial private conglomerates, they are Tata Defense, L&T Defense, Mahindra Defense, Kalyani Defense, Adani Defense, etc. Now, while the DPSUs, DRDO, and big private companies are the mainstays of Indian defense production, they are supported by an ever growing number of micro, small, and medium enterprises, which is called MSMEs, and the startups. And these are our areas of interest, which we will be discussing in detail later. Now, as of January 23, 14,000 MSMEs and 329 startups are engaged in defense production in India. Now, the key reforms in the DAP 2020, which I have mentioned earlier, which further rationalizes procurement categories by prioritizing domestic industry over foreign companies. Now, such categories are classified. I mean, you can just quickly listen to what I'm telling. They are little in detail, but I would rather read it out to you, which is called, one category is called Buy Indian IDDM, indigenously designed, developed, and manufactured. Here, the indigenous content has to be more than 50%. In this case, the tender is issued to an Indian company, and the maximum FDI allowed is about 49%. Other category is a Buy Indian. Here, the IC content, that is indigenous content, is 50% if the design is indigenous. Otherwise, IC has to be greater than 60%. Here, the tender is issued to an Indian company, but the FDI allowed is 74%. Other categories, Buy and Make Indian. Now, here the IC content is 50% in make portion. Here, the tender is issued to an Indian company, and FDI allowed is 74%. Other one is Buy Global, but manufactured in India. Here again, the IC content is greater than 50%. And here the tender is issued to a foreigner, and FDI is 74%. The last category is Buy Global. Here it could be foreigner and Indian, and maximum FDI allowed is 74% again if the company is Indian. Now, make and innovation categories and the FDI which are allowed, I will just read. So there is a category called Make One. It has got up to 70% of the government. I mean, the best feature of this one is that up to 70% is government funding for prototype development, subject to maximum of rupees 250 crores. And the procurement is done through a scheme which is called Indian IDDM portal. And here FDI allows is 49%. The next category is Make Two, which is self-funded by industry for prototype development. And after successful development, procurement has to be through Buy Indian IDDM route. And again, FDI is about 49%. The third category is Make Three, which is primarily for import substitution of product, support of existing weapon system. Now, post successful development, procurement is through Buy Indian route, and here FDI is 74%. The two that I'm going to talk now is of interest to all of us is called IDEX, which is intended for startups, individual innovators, and MSMEs. Now, innovators can submit suo motu proposals, and post successful development, procurement is through Buy Indian IDM route, and FDI is 49%. And there is a technical defense fund, TDF, a scheme run by DRDO with funding support. And after successful development, procurement will be through the Buy Indian IDDM route. And here also the FDI is 49%. Now, MSMEs and startups. One of the key objectives of the Make in India initiative of the Government of India is to bring micro, small, and medium enterprises into the defense supply chain and thereby boost the self-reliance of the country in defense and also contribute towards the ever-increasing defense export market. The advantage of MSME registration in India are as follows. There is easy access to credit with reduced interest rates and collateral-free loan. Industrial promotion, you have got an industrial promotion subsidy, subsidy on patent registration, timely payment by government buyers, and these are monitored, free ISO certification, no income tax for startups, concession in electricity bills, advantages in, I would say, entering in trade fairs, if they want to participate in trade fairs, exemption of payment of earnest money deposit EMDs, and tender free by MSEs. Now, some of the features important thing is 25% of annual procurement by all DPSUs are supposed to be sourced mandatorily. It's a government rule position by micro and small enterprises, which is monitored on a Sambandh portal and of the government. Now, besides that, 4% and 3% of annual procurement of each of such organization is reserved for SC/ST and women entrepreneurs. 358 items have been promulgated by the government, which are exclusively reserved for procurement only from MSEs. Now, MSEs quoting prices within price band of L1, which is the lowest one, plus 15%, when L1 is other MSEs, shall be allowed to supply 25% of the tender value after matching with L1 price. So this is another thing which has been given to MSE. Delay in procurement, delay in payment to MSE beyond 45 days would entail MSE to get interest 3 times the bank rate on monthly compounding basis. Now, for cash, for facilitating cash liquidity, I mean, you have another scheme which is called TRDES, Trade Receivable Discounting System, which is also been established. Monthly monitoring is done for delayed payment to MSME by government. I can share with you in my previous dispensation, these which were monthly talk from the Department of Defense Production and the Defense Secretary, who's monitoring it and penalizing all the CMDs if there's a delay in payment to MSMEs. I am very sure the classification of MSMEs, which is micro, is if the investment in plant and machinery is less than rupees 1 crore and the turnover is less than 5 crore, if it is small, if its investment is about 100 crores and the turnover is 50 crores, and it is called medium if investment is less than 20 crores and turnover is 100 crores. At this point of time, we are the entire defense production, both the defense production and aerospace, is at the cusp of a different kind of a revolution. And in my previous dispensation, we were forced by the government of or Department of Defense Production that in the defense or in the shipbuilding sector, all important items which are being sourced as a source of import, every CMD was to decide a time frame after which the import will be totally curbed and it has to be necessarily produced within the country using the current scale which is there. And it is very proud moment to share with all of you that the response which is coming from this sector is so overwhelming, and proud moments for all of us to share. At some point of time in my naval career, I was also the program or the project director for the nuclear submarine construction. And in that program, the best submarine that we are producing, the indigenous content is almost 98.2%. The ships and the destroyers and the stealth frigate that we are producing today is almost about 78%. And the submarines that we are going to be producing, the government has necessitated that you have to have 60% indigenous content. This means if you don't have these indigenous content, you cannot be qualified to build this one. It is very heartening to say that as far as the Indian Navy is concerned, which I hail from, currently about 62 ships are under construction in different shipyards. But all ships are being built in the Indian shipyards, besides only 2 in number, which is the stealth frigate, which is under production in Russia. Rest, all of them are being constructed either in Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited or the GRSC or the GSL or the HSL or Cochin Shipyard Limited. And one more player that we have with us is L&T Shipyard in Kattupalli. I will wind up by saying Atmanirbhar Bharat is a feel-good factor, and it sorts the nationalistic spirit at the outset. The success of Atmanirbhar Bharat will, however, the right blend of government implementation of policies to fix the inherent challenges like long delays in decision making, high gestation period of the defense industrial complex, lack of critical technologies, and inter-ministry coordination. India will require total focus and sincere efforts in line with nation first attitude to overcome the inner contradiction of the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in near term so as to reap the best benefits in future. There have been some very shining example of exclusive brilliance, and the future looks bright in spite of a sluggish start. Defense production complex is taking a giant stride set to garner greater glory in future with right policies of the government. Uh, whilst I will not talk about myself, I have been the chairman and managing director of the largest shipyard of the country, which is called Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, for the last about 3 years, and I retired from there in only January 23. Post retirement, I have again joined another company where there is an intense program right now going on to develop certain critical technology for the first time in this country. And right now, I am working to collaborate with Honeywell, US, and SPG4 and Triveni Engineering to produce for the first time in this country gas turbine generator, which are required by the Indian Navy. I am also consultant to produce the first time ever gas turbine in this country, which are the requirement out there. So I can only share at this point of time that we have brilliant industrial facilities. We have got very motivated workforce. The entire environment is very, very vibrant. The only drawback at this point of time is some of the government policies are not very consistent to encourage the private entrepreneurship. Because anybody who wants to delve deeper to produce, he has to actually put a lot of money, and it has to go through a lot of trials and all that before it gets accepted. So that these are some of the things which I have also indicated to Raksha Mantri and Raj Raksha Mantri's during my initial tenure, that if we make a policy where there is a substantial contribution from the defense PSU shipyard, where, like, for example, we were trying to produce for the first time in this country controllable pitch propeller, which are required to power a particular ship. Some companies came forward and we told them, we will give you 70% from our kitty for the prototype development. You put 30%. Now, it's a very congenial kind of an atmosphere. But, what happens, the government, because we also are a part of the board, I had a board in which we also have a representation from Department of Defense Production, and sometimes they are not very supportive. Because what happens if the prototype fails? So if you pay about, let's say, 70 crores, and if that money fails, because not every your engagement is going to be very, very successful, how will you account for that particular loss? So it should not be attached with the pay and allowances of the chairman and the managing director. So these policies are need to be strengthened, which we have already taken up with the government. And interestingly and unfortunately or fortunately, each of our major products are very, very expensive. Like we wanted to produce an electric propulsion motor. All this while we have been only importing. So Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited took the initiative that we will produce for the first time in this country with a domestic player, and this will be used in our subsequent production of submarines within the country. I don't know how it's going to forge ahead in terms of financial implications and things like that. We were going to make a midget submarine, which has already touched water. For the first time, we produce a fuel cell based a marine platform with Tata Defense. So I would say there are such brilliant examples of defense production through indigenous sources and all, but some more time is required to streamline the entire government policies to ensure that there is adequate funding. And whilst I have talked about all this particular big, but what Mr. Shivkumar Singh is going to ask me at the grassroots level, how these small players are going to barge as an opportunity into this particular field. The route is the same. If you have to become MSME or startups, entrepreneur, or through IDEX, because even entry to these kind of things are little difficult because entire thing is very high-end technology, and we are quite scared to give it to raw hands. But I think the times have changed, and with lots of entrepreneurs and all, like in my time itself, we have given a large amount of, uh, 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 I would say, projects to IIT Delhi. Some few startups based with the IIT Delhi who has developed some three major products for us, which is very very saleable. So at the end, I would conclude by saying that it is all looking very bright. Each one can read a lot of literature which is available in the open media and focus as to how he can garner the best kind of a thing for himself and try and see. There are a lot of literature which is available on the internet as to how will you meander your way through to get some funding, to get some projects, where to approach, to whom to go to, how to get yourself registered, and then make a success story in due course of time. So thank you very much. It is indeed a matter of great honor, pride and privilege for me to have been given this opportunity to talk to all of you. और मुझे इस बात की बहुत खुशी है, और मैं चाहूंगा कि आप लोग हमेशा खुशहाल, स्वस्थ, प्रसन्नचित और चिंता मुक्त रहें, और कायनात की सारी शक्तियां आपको हमेशा सुरक्षित रखें और महफूज रखें. तो थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड जय हिंद. मैं ये कहना हो रहा था और मैं उनको एड्रेस करने गया था, तो उन्होंने एक ही सवाल वही पूछा कि सर आप ट्रेन कर रहे हो, अपने कॉस्ट पे ट्रेन कर रहे हो, खाना भी देते हो आप और स्टाइपेंड भी देते हो आप, तो ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन इस ट्रेनिंग के पश्चात आप एश्योर ये नहीं करते कि क्योंकि नौकरी हमें कहाँ मिलेगी. नाउ मैं सिर्फ ये कह सकता हूँ कि बॉम्बे जैसे इंडस्ट्रियल कॉम्प्लेक्स में भी, और हमारी खुद की एक शिपयार्ड है जिसमें तकरीबन अबाउट 10,000 लोग काम करते हैं, और उसमें कुछ लोग सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड वर्कफोर्स हैं, और जो चीजें मैं बता रहा हूँ वो सारे शिपयार्ड्स में लागू हैं. हर एक शिपयार्ड्स की अपनी अपनी सेम रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, तो उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं तो सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड वर्कफोर्स से मिलती है, जो कि एक कॉन्ट्रैक्टर होता है जो इन्हीं बच्चों को वो उठा के अपने पास रखता है और जिस इंडस्ट्री में उनको जरूरत होती है उसको प्रोवाइड करता है वो. तो एक रास्ता ये है कि जब आप अपनी स्किलिंग कर रहे हो तो आप वन ऑफ दिस अप्रेंटिस स्कूल के साथ संबद्ध होइए. उनकी भी वैकेंसी आ रही होती है, उनका भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम होता है, एडवर्टीजमेंट होती है, उसके लिए आप अप्लाई करिए, उसमें स्टाइपेंड भी मिलता है. और उसके साथ जब आप हो जाते हैं तो वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर कि उस चीज में जुड़ने के लिए आपको ज्यादा संभावित है आप. तो अगर कोई भी वैकेंसी निकलती है तो उसमें आपको कंसीडर किया जाएगा. और वही मैं आज की तारीख में तो मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि इसके पहले मैं एक एडमिरल सुपरिंटेंडेंट ऑफ द डॉकयार्ड था. एक डॉकयार्ड में भी करीब 10-12 हजार लोग काम करते हैं, और हमारे हिंदुस्तान की नेवी की सारी जहाजें और सारी पनडुब्बियां, न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन वहीं रिपेयर होती है. तो लोगों की तादाद, जब भी हमारी वैकेंसी निकलती थी तो उन्होंने जब हमारे सामने वो कागज दिया कि सर आप अप्रूव करना है, आई वॉज शॉक्ड टू फाइंड कि इवन फॉर जॉब ऑफ ए गार्डनर आई हैड एन MBA एंड एन MTech who has applied for it. तो उनको मैंने खासकर इंटरव्यू में बुलाया कि ऐसी हालात क्यों आ गई कि आपको मालूम है कि आपकी तनख्वाह क्या होगी. तो उनका एक ही कहना था. और ऐसे जब मैं देखता हूँ कि इस वैकेंसी और कुछ वैकेंसीज के लिए तो हमें पूरा स्टेडियम बुक करना पड़ता था फॉर एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन. तो जॉब बहुत ही कम है, लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा हूँ तो ये तो हिंदुस्तान की हालात है. लेकिन आप सक्सेसफुल कैसे होगे कि अपने आप को जितना आप स्किल करिए आप, और इस इंडस्ट्री के इर्द गिर्द आप काम खोजने की कोशिश करिए, तो 1-2 सालों में आपको जरूर इसमें सक्सेस मिलेगी. एंड आज की तारीख में हमारी जो जहाजों की जो कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रही है वो बहुत ही बड़े पैमाने पे हो रही है. आज आप खुद देखिए कि एक एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर, अगर वो ऑर्डर आपको कोचिन शिपयार्ड को मिल जाती है, वो करीब 25,000 करोड़ की ऑर्डर है वो, और उस जहाज को बनाने में करीब 7-8 साल लगेंगे. एंड इस जहाज की लंबाई करीब 240 मीटर है, तो उसमें कितने लोग को काम मिल सकता है. मैं जब जहाज बना रहा हूँ 6 in number conventional submarine, 4 in number destroyers, 4 in number stealth frigates, a total order value is about 80,000 crores. So I needed almost about 12,000 workforce. उसमें कुछ लोग थे हमारे परमानेंट वर्कफोर्स और कुछ लोग हमारे थे जो सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड. गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी भी है कि आपको सब कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड इतने लेने हैं, वो कंपलसरी है, और वो भी आपस में इनकी प्रतिस्पर्धा चल रही होती है fixed workforce में and the contractor workforce में. Anyway, that is the CMD to sort it out. But I can only tell you, you will need to skill yourself, and there are enough orders in all the shipyards, including L&T shipyard. अभी प्राइवेट डोमेन में भी कुछ शिपयार्ड्स हैं जिनको ऑर्डर बुक मिलने की संभावना है. पिपाव, which is at Bharuch, sorry, at Pipavav, and also ABB shipyard, which is at Bharuch. तो इनमें भी जब काम चालू हो जाएगा, इनको ऑर्डर मिलेगी, तो इनको नौकरी मिलने की पूरी संभावना है.
तो नारायण जी, आपने बड़ा अच्छा कहा कि अपना स्किल डेवलप करो. तो जो सुनने वाले हैं उनको ये पता चल रहा है कि काफी बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है ये, और सरकार का नया प्रोग्राम होने के कारण इसके पीछे काफी कुछ सपोर्ट भी है सरकार का. तो मेरे ख्याल से बच्चे इससे जुड़ेंगे, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ बच्चे जो हैं, हमारे यहाँ मतलब हिंदुस्तान में हर जगह, जैसा आपने कहा कि एमटेक, एमबीए और क्या क्या करना चाहते हैं, बिना इस बात को सोचे कि इससे नौकरी कहाँ मिलेगी. और नौकरी सभी चाहते हैं, तो नौकरी चाहते हैं, लेकिन नौकरी वाला काम नहीं करते हैं. तो आजकल जो नौकरियां ज्यादा बढ़ रही हैं वो है क्राफ्ट का, इलेक्ट्रिशियन, वेल्डर, पाइप फिटर, इस तरीके की, क्योंकि डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन बहुत हो रहा है, बहुत ही ज्यादा हो रहा है. तो चाहे वो सरकार की तरफ से हो या कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स की तरफ से हो, तो उसके लिए ITIs जो हैं वो बहुत अच्छे स्किल की जगह हैं, और मेरे ख्याल से बच्चों को उसमें जुड़ना चाहिए. आप यही कह रहे हैं कि जितना ज्यादा वो स्किल हो सके, हाथ वाला स्किल, उतनी कोशिश करो जानने की, क्योंकि उसमें नौकरियां अच्छी और पैसे भी अच्छे हैं मेरे ख्याल से. दैट्स ऑल. दीपक जी कुछ पूछना चाहते थे.
Deepak ji, I think you are muted.
Yeah. Namaste, Vice Admiral Narayan Prasad ji. It was a wonderful information which you shared, for Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vocal for Local, etc. Now, one thing, to take further from what Tiwari ji said, there are one aspect is there will be people who are job seekers, and there will be people, or there should be people who are job givers. Now, if I am like an outsider, in the sense I am not so much in the knowledge of these government and defense and all kind of programs, I was trying to understand that whatever information you have shared and different programs, policies, pronouncements of the governments which are there, are they available at any one place for so that we can share it with different people? Now, for example, these mediums, like large organizations will have their resources. Medium scale organizations also will have their resources, but it will be the small scale and then MSMEs and startups, which may or may not have. Maybe if they have, I may not know. So I was actually tempted to make a table myself from what you from your speech. Unless it may be available, you can guide me, so that what is available, for what items to be procured, where foreign procurement is up to what, somewhere 49%, etc. is available, where interest subsidy is available, where pure subsidy is available, so that if you can tabulate, and also within that, these are reserved for which items. Somewhere we said 76 items, 54 items, or whatever, so that if those item list also, if I enclose, I will have a total exclusive data of what is available, which we can share with our students, our children who are who have graduated. Because when it is available, they are made to think that I can do this, I can do that, and I will need that, so that we can help them for the remaining things what they don't have, and so that they can start their startup. That was my loud thinking. I don't know whether it makes sense, but this is what I was thinking.
It is absolutely fantastic questions. I must say that, because that is a grassroots level question. But I can tell you, every detail which I talked about is all available in the open net. This means if you any of the subject matter where you have a query as to which all are the items which have to be necessarily and compulsorily to be bought by the government agency from MSMEs. They will list you all those 356 items. And that is where you find that this business is necessarily going to them. They don't have to compete with, they have to compete with their own classes. So that's very similarly, all the government policies, which I have told you, is all extracted from an open net, because the government has become very, very transparent. You don't have to look for a collated book. Like DAP 2020 is available, it is on the net. Uski jo shipbuilding chapter has been drafted by me. So I can only tell you, these are very, very elaborate. Somebody needs to just apply and look at his area of interest. Like, how to get into an apprentice school. You just have to type that. And there are how many apprentice school, what are the qualifying criteria, how much of money initially he has to do that, how much is the stipend that he would get, what is the duration of the training, everything is spelled out very clearly.
Okay. All right. I think from your speech, I will know the various schemes which are available, and then we can see on the net.
Correct.
That's what you're saying. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Narayan Prasad ji.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So like a shipyard needed very much resources. So like from the shipyard, from where it consumes its resources, like there are some MSME companies in India, or there are some startups who provide them, or like it happened through a tender, like who will apply for it and who have the lowest it will be get. And I want to know, sir, what is that percentage of in making of a ship or any other submarines, like what is the percentage of equipment used are foreigns, and the percentage of equipment used by that Indian origin?
Okay, it's a very good, interesting question that you have put across. Oh, let me see. While the question is small, answer is to be a little longer one. For example, a destroyer that we shipyard builds, which is the largest destroyer that Indian Navy has got, and one of the largest and most versatile in the world, which is called Project 15 Bravo. It costs about 8,500 crores. It has got all kinds of weapons and carries 2 helicopters. Now, this takes almost about 8 years to build. And in this entire thing, the equipment cost is roughly about 40 to 45%. So it is powered by gas turbine. It has got a gearbox. It has gas turbine generators, and then huge amount of navigation complex, communication complex, steering gear, stabilizer, host of things. Now, your area of interest is how much of this will go to MSME. Now, first thing is in the entire construction program, as I have told you, 56% of our entire thing goes to subcontracted workforce. This means it is mandatory for me that I outsource this particular job. So all the piping, electrical fitting which is there, the installation of all pumps, valves, these all have to be outsourced. So these jobs all go to those contractors who themselves are MSMEs. Now, we have got a list of MSMEs who are registered with us. So some of them are micro, small and medium enterprises against the classification that we have done. And if you look at how much is the investment to these companies in every year, I can tell you very substantial. The business which is going to this gang is very, very substantial in the complete building of the platforms. So idea is to either get into with somebody who's already registered with MDL as a company and start skilling yourself so that you do. But if you want to set up a company yourself as an entrepreneur, so that has got lot of distance that you need to travel, and you have to again enroll with Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited or GRSE. And if you are looking for a funding is again not going to be very, very simple. So you have to read the rule position, and then you need to find out what is the requirement in which I should butt in. This means at this point of time, if you are a new starter, you don't know anything. कि मैं पंप बनाऊंगा, कि valve बनाऊंगा, कि converter बनाऊंगा, कि generator बनाऊंगा. Now, each one is a highly skilled piece of equipment. And there are enough number of vendors who are already in this business in this country for a very long time. So if you want to get into a new this thing, it's a little difficulty. I am giving you my own example. I have been a chairman, managing director of a shipyard, which is one of the largest. Then presently, I am working with a company. Of course, it has got a total revenue generation is almost about 8,500 crores per year. But in terms of defense manufacturing and aerospace, they are also a starter. We are finding similar kind of difficulties to enroll ourselves with the Indian Navy to supply gearboxes. तो उनका ये कहना होता है कि सबसे पहले ये बताइए कि आपने नौसेना में इसके Sure. The next link is the next speaker. Okay, as I've told you, to find out which is an item of interest that you would try and focus you as a part of your engagement with the defense, I would say defense production. So you will have to certainly look for yourself कि out of those 356 or 358 items which are available in the government portal, which is the item with your setup, infrastructure, facility that you can start producing. And the best thing is, first, talk to people who are already into those categorization. This means if there's a valve on which is permissible to be ordered to be placed, जो कि आपके जैसे लोगों पे करना है, MSME पे करना है, तो जो भी इस क्षेत्र में ऑलरेडी संबद्ध है, आप उनसे बात करिए, उनकी फैसिलिटी को जाके देखिए आप कि किसमें उतनी लागत लगती है और उसको करने के लिए कितना टाइम लगता है, क्या क्या स्किल सेट आपको वर्कफोर्स क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. And then you can start planning कि do you have a budget? Let's say if you don't have a budget, how will you create a funding? Similarly, in that IDEX that I talked about, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी, इन तीनों की जो अपनी अपनी परेशानियां हैं, तो वो आप सभी एक जगह पे एक पोर्टल में डालते हैं कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. All this individual entrepreneur, they say I can produce this one, and there is some funding arrangements depending on your initial capability assessment, capability and capacity assessment. The government will do certain amount of funding as to produce that item, but you already have to have at that item of production, that stage of production, तभी आपको गवर्नमेंट वो काम देगी आपको और फंडिंग भी करेगी. तो इसमें क्या क्या स्टेप्स इन्वॉल्व हैं, आप कोई भी how to join a defense manufacturing, if you type up, there a lot of advisory will come.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can I ask in which shipyard are you working now? The biggest shipyard of India, you said.
I worked for 3 years in Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, located in Mumbai. I've retired from there, and now I'm living a retired life.
Oh. Sir, you said like there are some ships which are gone to Russia for making of them. India is not independent till now to build some ships.
नहीं, वो बात नहीं है. इनफैक्ट जो मैंने पूरी कहानी आपने सुनी नहीं ढंग से, करीब 62 जहाज जो अभी बन रही है, 62 शिप्स, उसमें 60 जहाज हमारे हिंदुस्तान शिपयार्ड में बन रही है. ये 2 जहाज बहुत पुरानी ऑर्डर्स हैं और वो इसलिए कि वो ऑफर रशिया से आई थी कम दामों में देने के लिए.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much. It's been honor is totally entirely mine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.